Okay, this is going to be a relatively short demonstration to explain how you can use a zip file to store all your feast files associated with a project. Just so if you wanted to move it around, make a copy, move it to another computer, and so on. As explained in another help video, a feast project consists of several different files. So if I open one, if let's open the Freeston Shore one here, we can see there's 4 different files in this instance. So we've got the EFA file, which is the data file that stores all the information about the features on the farmland. We've got the BMD file, which stores all the biodiversity monitoring data. And then in this instance we've got 2 map layers, one which is for hoverflies from the biodiversity monitoring data showing where they are, and another one which is our base layer, which stores all the features on the map. So if I actually just open the map up, just to explain that a little bit better, here we can see we've got a number of yellow dots on here. That's our biodiversity monitoring data, and then we've done a habitat suitability assessment for hoverflies, in this instance for the features we've defined in this area. So we've got a number of different files all contributing to that. Now, when you're managing files, obviously the more you've got, the more difficult, the more complicated it gets. So to make life a little bit easier, we've incorporated a function to both zip and unzip project files. So what I'm going to do is just show both those processes. They're relatively simple, but I'll run you through the process anyway. So let's say we wanted to zip up this particular project. I've already opened it, so that's your first step. And then we're going to say, okay, I want to zip that up. So you click on the button here, and then we'll come up to a different folder, and I'm going to put it in my zip files here. I'm just going to call it FS1. Okay, that's now taken all the files that we've got in this project and zipped them up. So we can now close that project. Now, for instance, now say we've gone on to another computer, or you may be just making a copy of a project so you can change it or make it as a backup, what have you. So if you may want to keep the old one and then start playing with the new one, in which case we want to unzip the files that we've just zipped up. So we come to this button here, extract zip project files. We open that. Now I know we just put it into my zip files folder, where is it, FS1. So we select that file. It's now going to ask me where do I want to do it. I'm going to put it into this copied feast projects. Then it's asking me, do I want to open the project file? Yes, I do. And so what it's done, we've got exactly the same files again, but in this instance they're in a different directory. Now the important process about this zip and unzipping process is the project file that we open needs to know where all the files are, so that you can access them and display all the data just as it did before. Whereas if you just move the files around without telling the project files where all the files are, it's going to open them and go, I can't find the files, where have they gone? Hence why the zip and unzip process. In fact, if we go into that folder, we can come into here and we can see that's now the unzip folder, and we can come in here. So there's our project file, our feast file, and we can go into our layers. Those are all the map layers that we can see, so they're all there. Likewise, we can see data files in there and biodiversity monitoring in there. So it's just kept them all in separate folders in this instance, so it knows where everything is. It's as simple as that, really. So you've got these processes for zipping and unzipping. You can, of course, do it a slightly more long-winded way without using the zip file functionality. You can just create a new project file and then copy over all the various files that you want, be it the EFA, the BMD files, or any of the map layers, and then just add them in one by one, and you would do that through the Project Explorer here. So you've got this functionality here to add different elements to your project. Now if you're not going to sort of pick and choose the files, then you might as well just use the zip and unzip functionality. It's just simpler, quicker and easier. But if you wanted to do something a little bit more complicated, a little bit more bespoke, then create a new project and then just start adding the files here. Should add, if you create a new project, it won't move all the maps that you've created, it will just move map layers. Whereas if you use the zip and unzip, it keeps the project file intact, and all your maps, as we can see listed here, will also still be available. So bear that in mind depending on what you want to do. That brings me to the end of the demonstration. Thank you for your time.